Greetings and welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Ecowash is a service created to provide an ecological solution to the traditional car wash system. Owner and Managing Director Dareem he joins us now to share how he got into the business and how the business is making a difference. Thank you so much for making the time, Mr. Jeffrey. Now, I want to ask what led you to the research to, in the first place, to see this gap and go after it in a formalized manner?
Well, DK, thank you for having me. Well, to be honest, initially when I started Ecowash, I started it because I was unemployed for 8 months due to COVID-19. So I was just looking to start a business. Car wash seemed feasible enough, but I wanted to have a car wash with a bit of a difference because I know Trinidadians love convenience. So I came up with a proprietary polymer that would allow me to wash a car with minimal amounts of water that could also allow me to wash a vehicle in the malls, because that was my first location that I had Ecowash at. And as time progressed, we realized that, wow, we're actually saving a lot of water, we're having environmental impacts. And it was something that was near and dear to me because coming from Moruga, where we struggle for constant water supply, this has blossomed into something that is definitely having its mark on the car wash industry and conserving a lot of water, over 15 million liters of water in 2 years, actually.
But it's one thing to say that, okay, well, this is the venture that I think it can be feasible, but many individuals don't necessarily say are going to see anything a step further than just, okay, well, I'm going to be a bucket wash man, I'm going to deal with like this. We get the some revenue coming in. What are some of the things that made you want to, one, scale it up, and two, do it with a look and a feel and a finish? Because even now, looking at your branded outfit, you're looking fancy. So what are some of those steps?
Well, first, it's playing a pivotal role in the branding and the innovation of the business has definitely come out of me doing some courses with YBTC, Youth Business Trinidad and Tobago. And I also did a course in entrepreneurship, actually, at UTT, the University of Trinidad and Tobago, while I pursued my bachelor's in maritime operation and nautical science. So looking at that, always one of my favorite TV shows, Shark Tank, I always understood that, starting a business, you need to have some type of proprietary technology or something that kind of sets you apart from the competition. And washing a car, adding convenience, adding speed, adding quality, definitely allowed us to set ourselves apart.
And I'm not asking you to spill the beans and give out some of that information, but at the same time, what is that? Because I'm looking for some of the things that separate. Is it factors? Is it nature? Is it nurture? Looking at your search for something that would have led to this proprietary polymer. Because many people say, okay, well, this is the recipe, this is the formula, this is how we're doing it. But it seems as though something was there, something was more. So you spoke about the classes and the courses, but many people just say, okay, well, let me do it to the best of what is available versus trying to get a little more.
Yeah. So I grew up in Moruga, beautiful South Trinidad, where I had the quintessential uh, country upbringing, being near to nature. But even though I have fond memories of growing up in South Trinidad, it also came with its own challenges and disappointments. Uh, Poor infrastructure, bad roads, limited supply of water. I remember there's days where we would have to wait 2 weeks for water to come. We have to get up in the wee hours of the morning. Water would only flow through the pipe for a couple of hours, sometimes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And so water has always been near and dear to me. I have a great respect for water. For me, it's liquid gold. And when I left home at the age of 17, it was actually the first time I saw Port Spain in person. And when I made the East-West corridor my home, one of the things that always stunned me was the water never stopped flowing through the pipes. And that's something that was fascinating at first, but afterwards it became very frustrating knowing that persons in rural Trinidad struggle for a constant supply of water when persons in the East-West corridor, no fault of theirs, uh, wantonly wasted this precious resource on something that we have a lot of respect for. So in creating a business, it was always near and dear to me to see how and what really caused the water deficit that really affected us. And in doing my research, two things came up. A lot of water was lost in leaks, which is non-revenue water, unaccounted for water, as some persons would put it. And the second thing is that Trinidad had over 500 car washes. Every street you walk down, you're going to see a car wash, whether it be under somebody's house, under a tent, whether it be a drive-through car wash or self-service. And knowing that Trinidad has over 1 million cars on the nation's roads, that's a lot of water being wasted because the average car wash uses on average 180 liters of water to wash a car. So just washing a car, say each car washed once a month, that's 180 million liters of water. And for me, that's something that we definitely needed to address. The I was giving a TED talk with TEDx a few weeks back, and when I presented this data, everybody was shocked because nobody actually thinks how much water am I using when I'm washing my car, when the car wash man is washing my car. So that was something I was always very cognizant of, and definitely something I wanted to tackle. And coincidentally, I ended up in the car wash space, even though it initially started because I wanted to find something to sustain myself financially. It has always been something that I always wanted to venture into, and COVID just pretty much fast tracked me actually getting into the world of business and bringing this technology to market.
And we're going to talk about some of the things that you've done since that entrance or entry point. But stay with us. We are speaking with Mr. Dareem Jeffrey, the owner and managing director of Ecowash. We return after this. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are speaking with Dareem Jeffrey, owner and managing director of Ecowash, the person who found out how you can use basically a Jalita bottle of water or Jalita bottle of product to wash your vehicle instead of 180 liters. And what are some, just looking from the outset, Mr. Jeffrey, what are some of the things that look a little different? Because I saw these fancy looking, I don't know if to call it carts, units, pieces of equipment. So just from the visual aspect, what are some of those markers that say, this is Ecowash on the job?
Yeah, so we have our big EcoPod, we call them. It's our car wash carts. You're going to see the Ecowash sign on it saying Ecowash, that whole proprietary look of it. It actually, some persons say it looks like a helicopter. For us, the design, it's somewhat of a slanted water droplet, but it's green because even though we're saving water, we also only use eco-friendly and biodegradable products. So those are some of the markers. When you see Ecowash, you know that EcoPod, it's a conversational piece.
And is it a conversation or conversations that you would have had with individuals to say, okay, well, yes, you're doing this, but you might want to take this into consideration as well? Because it's one thing, the way you said that almost every corner you go to, you see a car wash. Sometimes you see these mechanics and they say, yeah, that's a mechanic, because even though they may not have something at that point in time, you're seeing some oil on the ground. This is those that don't necessarily dispose of them properly. So how important was it to you to say, okay, well, we're doing this, but we want to check these boxes so that we're going green in addition to saving water, so that attacking the problem from different angles?
Yeah, one of the things I was very cognizant of, DK, is I did not want EcoWash to be a business of greenwashing. We wanted to really be eco-friendly to the core. So initially, when we started building the machines were built out of fiberglass right here in Trinidad, in Movan Lavendale, actually. And the machines were powered by normal car batteries, but we've partnered with Alpha Battery, which offers us a rechargeable battery that we also carry back to them to properly dispose and recycle. But we've also partnered through the Shaping the Future of Innovation grant with Cariri, the European Union, and IDB, and also the Ministry of Planning and Development, where the carts now are being built out of recyclable plastics, and soon they're going to be solar powered. So we're really taking green to the extreme, no pun intended, but we really want every aspect of the business to be green, down to simple things like receipts. We don't give out paper receipts. We give out receipts that we email to your email account because we want to stay away from paper. We want to stay away from harmful chemicals because persons in the car wash industry, persons were thinking, okay, you're saving water. But the thing with the car wash industry is that you're not only using drinkable water to wash these vehicles, you're also polluting this water with harmful car wash chemicals, sending it in your waterways and destroying our biodiversity. So it's not just about using a lot of water, but also the chemicals that's infused within this water to wash your vehicle is very harmful to the environment. So it's not just about water conservation, but it's that eco-friendliness, using products that are environmentally safe to actually go within the waterways.
Talk to me about scaling up, please, Mr. Jeffrey, and I want to do it locally as well as internationally. Is it a matter of you have different, you're the sole proprietor, and then there are different individuals saying, okay, well, I want to be part of this franchise, I want to be part of this brand, I want my own EcoPod. So what is that process like?
Yeah, so last year, this time around, I had one location, my flagship location, which is C3 Sunday in San Fernando. Today, we have 4 locations locally. We have many corporate clients. I'm actually on site at one of our largest corporate clients, which is Ansa Macal, Ansa Motors, and Ansa Mobility. But we also have other contracts with other large companies, and the calls just keep coming in. So currently, we're at Port of Spain, we're at C3 Center in San Fernando, we're at Gold City Mall, we're at Shops of Trin City, but we also have many other malls lined up for us to launch at. We also got calls regionally from other companies and even local companies that have foot in other countries have asked us to expand within these countries for them. But I just came back from Ghana with Netco and the Ministry of um, Industries, where we would have gone on a trade mission. And in Ghana, we actually are signing an agreement with the largest car firm in Ghana, but they're also in 5 other countries in Africa, countries like Togo, Benin, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. So we're going to expand over there very soon. I'm flying out in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to start up that operation in Africa. We also have a couple of countries in the region that we're looking to expand with. And I was actually having a conversation with IDB headquarters in Washington, D.C., where they're actually asking for Ecowash and our type of system to be implemented within their compound. So it's a lot happening. It's a massive expansion plan. We are franchising, but we're also running a few locations in the other countries as well. So it's a lot happening right now, and I'm just trying to keep up with my business.
And in terms of trying to keep up with that business, your head does ever get fat and saying, but wait now, boy, pandemic was 4 years ago, and that 8 months, it feels very different from that time to this time. What do you do, or who do you talk to? What's the support system like when you're starting to have these conversations and just having this level of gratitude for what it is you're being treated with right now?
Yeah. To be honest, DK, this is not what I intended it to be. I was happy at C3. I sorry about that. I was happy at C3. I was happy with one location. I was very contented with that. C3 paid the branch here paid well. I was very financially comfortable. But looking at the impact we're having, not so much with water conservation alone, but EcoWash, one of the pillars of EcoWash is that we have a youth employment and entrepreneurial initiative that we've been embarking on, where we've hired in our 2 years over 53 youths, giving them gainful employment, where some of these youths were actually the breadwinners in their households. And coincidentally, the oldest youth we've ever hired was 22 years. We have persons, right now, we have a branch manager who's 18 years. He's going on 19, I think, in a couple of months. And he's been running C3 Center very successfully. So it's not so much where I want to expand, but I want that development, that youth development thing to continue. Just in Ghana alone, with that Africa expansion, we're looking to hire 97 youths over there. We've put out an application for OJT for office staff, where we're hiring 21 youths for the OJT program. Right now, we're still on a hiring stint because we've been getting a lot of calls from other companies that have been asking us to come. So we're not just hiring persons at an entry level, we're hiring youths for administrative assistant, business development, And we're hiring youths that may not come perfect, but who are willing to learn, who wants to expand their personal and professional skills. And some of our youths have actually shown ambition where they want to own their own Ecowash branch, where we're giving them that opportunity to own their own franchise. So even though they're working for us right now, they're showing that star quality and they're learning. It's somewhat of an on-the-job training where I learn in your branch so I can open my own branch. And we're actually embarking very soon on a project called Project 1000 throughout the Caribbean, where we're giving 1,000 youths throughout the Caribbean their own ecopod so they can go to their neighbor's house and so forth and wash their cars and make money and continue their schooling or whatever. Because when I started my bachelor's, I actually had to drop out of school because I had no financial support. And through the Ecowash program and hiring university students who work sometimes one day for the week because that's the only day they have off from school, we've had 9 persons graduate with their degrees while using Ecowash as that stepping stone. So I'm very cognizant that there are financial difficulties that stop persons from continuing their schooling. And I don't want my story to be their story where they have to drop out of school based on financial hardships. And through the Shaping the Future of Innovation grant, Upreneur with Unit Trust, YBTT, we actually downsized our machine, where now we have our very small ecopods. These are the things that we're going to be distributing throughout the Caribbean, where it's small, it's compact. That small ecopod can wash about 2 to 3 vehicles. We have a larger machine that can wash about 4 to 5 vehicles. It's small, it's compact. They can start their own business. For some persons, they don't want to own a car wash for the rest of their life. But this may be that tester business where they can learn customer service, how to deal with their accounts, how to do marketing, that commitment, time management. A lot of them are seeing Ecowash as that stepping stone for something much greater for their lives.
And this is blowing my mind in a good way, and I'm very glad that this is not the first conversation that we're having, in the sense that there's a Keeping It Green feature that we're going to be putting into the caption on our social media platforms so that people can actually get another idea of what is happening. But we want to commend you so much for the work that you're doing and the work that you continue to do, Mr. Jeffrey, and even like looking at having the pods built here. So possibly that's another conversation we can have, where some of these places that these things were fabricated. But thank you very much. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, we've been speaking with owner and managing director of Ecowash, Dareem Jeffrey. This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dike.